All right, what's good, everybody? Live from Vegas. I'm here now. Hammer, hopefully you can hear me good.
Yeah,
What's
loud
good?
and
What's
clear.
good, Hammer?
Everything's good, man. Just getting back. I was sick for a little bit, so I had to kind of get back to full strength, but I am ready to roll.
Kev, what's good?
Kevin,
Kev
what to
said he's
do?
here. What up, Kev? But yeah, I mean, I'm chilling. We're here in Vegas, so we've got a bunch of roster reviews. I said we were gonna do. Go on a little roster review mania. I called it.
I like
But
it.
yeah, we got. Let's check out the first one. First one that we got here, and let me know if you should be able to see that. All right, you can see that, Hammer.
Yeah, I see it pretty good.
Yeah, because on my end is all right. So for this particular one, we got a this was a 12 team, I think. Yeah, 12 team Superflex. Start 8 only.
Okay, a little shallow.
So start 8. This is the squad we have here. Checking out at quarterback, we got Tua, C.J. Stroud, and Gino.
That's
At
nice.
running back, we've got Javante, Najee, James Conner, Roshan, Warren, Damian Harris, Keontae Ingram. At wide receivers, we've got CD, AJ Brown, and Amon Ra. So that looks good. Zay
With Zay
Flowers, Gabe
Flowers.
Davis, Nick. Yep. Sutton Lazard. Tight ends, we've got Kincaid, Laporta, and Ingram. We've got no first this year. We've got no first next year. But yeah, what do you think about this team, Hammer?
Overall, it looks like a solid team. He's got young kind of players, ascending players at each position. He's got really good wide receivers for a 12 team. Those 3 wide receivers are fantastic. The quarterback situation being a super flex, you feel pretty good about it, but I do think there is an opportunity to tier up in that quarterback position based on some of the other assets that he has. But overall, it's a good young balanced team, and I think that there are assets that he could tier up to. So I guess I'll just start off there.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely got some guys that maybe we can cheer up off of. So I mean, on keep trade cut, it looks like he's rated 5th league as far as like total overall with the draft picks. Let's look at players only real quick. Yeah, so he looks like he's pretty much a top three team. It looks like. Oops.
Yeah, I think like I said, I love everything about the team. The quarterback situation, it there's potential there, but if he's a win now team, which based on this, on keep trade cut, he's a win now team. So I think there is an availability to tier up at the quarterback position, get one of those top 5 guys, so you could secure that
Yeah.
with the wide receivers that you have. So that's pretty much where I would look. He doesn't have a ton of draft capital, which will make it a little more difficult to kind of attach a Geno Smith with a running back. If he had a second round pick, I mean, he has a 2025 second round pick, which is probably not worth a whole lot right now. So that's kind of what I would look like. It would just make it harder for him to tier up at that quarterback position without any first round picks or even his own second
Yeah,
round
yeah.
pick.
Good. Jay, what's good, Jay? Yeah, bro, we're having a good time. I'm having a good time out here in Vegas. Hammer's not out here, but yeah, we've got the whole crew out here. We've been on the Hustler Network pretty much doing drafts and shit all day. We had a dice draft earlier today, and it's basically 3 dice that you roll, and the way it works is basically the dice tells you what position player you have to pick. So there was like IDPs going in the first round. You could steal somebody's player. It was crazy. So you got to make sure you check that out. But Jay said, nice, useful team. Don't like the QB short term or long term other than Stroud. Let's take a look at.
I think the
So it looks like a
problem.
couple questions we ahead.
Go ahead. I just think that the problem
Yeah.
really quick, the problem really quick, and I think Jay was kind of speaking to it, is that Geno Smith, we don't, we saw what he did last year, but also remember Geno Smith tailed off at the end of last season. So I think teams maybe started to figure some things out. I do like that Seattle team. I do like the skill positions, addition of Charbonnet, addition of JSN to go with Lockett, Metcalf, and Kenny Walker. So they have a ton of talent. I think Geno Smith could be solid, but I think Geno Smith should be somebody that you look to move and maybe be able to tier up, maybe pair him with one of those running backs, or maybe even a Zay Flowers at this point, considering that you have CD, AJ, and Amon-Ra. I think you might be able to move like a Zay Flowers who has some good value at this particular point. Essentially, you could look at Zay Flowers as your de facto first-round draft pick. Like, that's how you would have to look at him if you're gonna, package, say, Geno Smith with the Zay Flowers. Look at Zay Flowers as a first-round pick in this situation.
Yeah, Marty was good, brother.
Marty, what to do?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple questions here, and we'll get into that in a second. But let's pull up the WORP chart because that's what we've been into lately. Let's take a look at what's important, in this particular league, and
QBs.
You can see how much those QBs, how much having the top 12 QBs are compared to some of the other positions there. So it looks like wide receiver, slightly over the running back, pretty much the whole way down. So you basically, it's telling you kind of want a wide receiver in that flex spot. And it looks like he's set up there. Nicely.
Beautifully. Yeah, beautifully.
Right. So CD Brown, my bad. CD Lamb, AJ Brown, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Those are pretty much staples that you're never going to get rid of. You're going to just build right around those guys. So just a couple questions that he had was, what moves do I make, if any? I don't feel confident in my RBs. Is Najee a piece I should try to move? And do I need to upgrade at QB? Which one should I move?
I think you're not moving.
Looks like you're
not moving CJ Stroud. That's the one guy you're not moving. That's the one guy you're not moving is CJ Stroud. I'm okay with moving the running backs, regardless of if it's Javonte, Najee, obviously Connor, fine, whatever, any of those guys. You want to solidify that top quarterback. So even if you have to move Tua and a Zay Flowers for, I don't know, who could you get? Justin Herbert?
We'll go check in a second. Hold up, we'll check here in a sec. We'll see if there's any moves maybe that we can make, right? Since we're set at receiver, tight end, you could do an upgrade at tight end. You're like okay at quarterback, but I'd rather try and lock in, if we can lock in another top 12 quarterback, that would be kind of the thing that we want to really focus on. And we can hope CJ Stroud gets there, but you've got some assets. So let's see. Let's take a look at some of these teams. Yeah, my computer is slow as shit.
Yeah, that last team's not. There we go.
Jordan Love, Kirk Cousins, Trey Lance. So yeah, we're not really looking at those QBs, right? Young, Golf, and Howell.
Not for what you really have.
Yeah.
Pickett, Carr,
Tannehill, no.
Doesn't look like Ruff has much either. Fields and Aaron.
Fields and Rodgers.
No. I feel like a good target here would be like a Justin Herbert if he wants to like move Tua and Zay Flowers. You know what I mean?
Let's find them. Here's Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, and Zappy.
Deshaun?
What about Deshaun Watson?
Do you think Deshaun Watson's more attainable than Justin Herbert?
Ayuk, Allen, D-Hop, he could use some wide receiver. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So you would move. So for this team, you would move Tua and Zay Flowers for Deshaun, and maybe see if you could grab that 25 first round pick.
No.
Second.
I don't think I'm not moving Tua. I'm moving either Stroud or Geno. I'm keeping Tua. So it's either Stroud or Geno. I don't care. I'll give up both of them for Deshaun Watson.
Stroud and Geno. Yeah, I mean,
if that's possible.
I wouldn't want to be left.
But Zay Flowers. If they're the top two, if they're top guys like that, I'm okay with it for now. You can figure out, what to do for a backup. But
see what the rest of the team.
Let's see what else is possible. Yeah, if there's something maybe you can do for Deshaun.
I think it'll be tougher as you get higher.
Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson.
Trevor Lawrence would be a decent target. I like that. I would like that move, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but I don't think that's happening.
For Geno and CJ Stroud. And Zay Flowers.
I'd rather just keep who I've got at that point.
Okay.
There's nothing that's really too much right now because it is a start 8, so we might have to give up something extra to,
That's why I feel like
give up something extra.
That's why I feel like Zay Flowers is a really good asset in this particular situation because he's essentially, like I said, you treat him as basically your first round pick. And I think Zay Flowers has some really good momentum in terms of like what people value him at. You know what I mean? With Lamar getting the bag, he's going to be there. And Zay Flowers being a top pick in the draft at the wide receiver position. So Burrow, Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert's a possibility. They do have Matt Jones, so...
But they're pretty good at wide receiver.
I doubt they're going to do that. Yeah, you can try, but you might not be able to get that.
And I don't think that.
All right,
guy...
so we got targets. We got targets of Watson and who else?
Possibly Herbert. Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Watson seems like the best that you can, or Trevor Lawrence are possibly guys that you can try and get. Other than that, if you can try and upgrade at tight end, maybe that would be another thing maybe you can do, even if you stay with, Geno and CJ Stroud, if you decide to roll with that. Maybe you can get a TJ Hawkinson.
That might be tough.
TK Hawkinson, Mark Andrews would be the guys they're trying to get. Otherwise, you're just staying put. So, Andrews team is pretty good. I don't know what they would want.
But I like.
But those would be.
I like his tight end room, to be honest with you, because he has the veteran Ingram and he has two young, pretty highly touted guys at the tight end position, rookies, both of them. So, to be honest, I wouldn't waste any assets. And Evan Ingram just got the bag, so I feel comfortable with that tight end room. I wouldn't really burn any assets in trying to upgrade the tight end because if you don't have Kelsey, if you go back to the WORP, it's basically Kelsey and everybody else. So for me, it wouldn't even be worth it to burn assets to upgrade tight end because virtually after Kelsey, they're all the same. You could go top 6? After 6, you're basically
top 3.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, you could
top
say
2 or 3 guys. Top 2 or 3 guys. That's why I said if you could maybe get Hawk or Andrews, but it might not be worth it. So QB is really the one you want to try and upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
PB Dubs, what up, PB Dubs?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Kev. We missed you. We missed you too, Kev. Jay. Yeah, but as you can see, with the WORP chart for the season, after tight end 6, there's literally no difference in who you have there. So
virtually
if you don't have one of those top guys, it really just doesn't matter. They're just not making as much of a difference. So if you can grab, like I said, if you can grab one of those guys, then yeah. But if not, then QB is going to be the most important here. You've got the stud wide receivers. You've got good running backs. So I'm okay with Najee. I'm not scared with Najee at all. You have Connor maybe that you can move if you need to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back into that.
That team is solid. It really is a solid team, and obviously with the wide receivers that you have, you can really lean on them. And
You got Roshan. You got Roshan as well. He's going to be a piece that people are kind of, hungry on a little bit. A young, a rookie guy. So you've got Connor, you've got Roshan, you've got Zay Flowers, CJ Stroud and Gino that you can kind of toy around with. I'm okay with toying around with Kincaid too. People love Kincaid. You have Laporta and you have Ingram. After what we just talked about, you can use Kincaid's value and try and tier up.
I like that.
Right?
I'm comfortable with that. Especially with tight end being such a shallow position, with the hype around Kincaid, especially going to Buffalo, you can, like you said, you can parlay that into some hype value where, you can maybe go after Trevor Lawrence, give up who is quarterbacks, give up Gino or give up.
They got Goddard. Trevor Lawrence team got Goddard, so they might not.
The Watson team has Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean maybe because Kelsey's getting older, maybe you can trick him into having a young guy for after Kelsey. I mean Kirk Cousins. Maybe you can trade Gino for Kirk Cousins if that makes you feel better.
I think that's a lateral move, to be honest with you. I mean, I think Kirk Cousins.
No, it is, but I think well, that's what I'm saying. I feel more comfortable because if you got CJ Stroud, for the long run,
you have Kirk kind of for now, and then. But yeah, I think the quarterback. I think Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, but just peek around, like make an offer for Herbert. Offer up CJ Stroud if that's the route you would go. I wouldn't, if I was trying to go after Herbert, I would offer up Tua and Zay Flowers and poke around and see if you could, maybe swing something like that. Like swing for the fences at first. That's the best way to go. And then if that, those trade talks break down, then you can have a secondary Trevor Lawrence or Deshaun Watson, if those trade talks break down. So.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, Kev, what do you think might be a good floor for Charbonnet this season? 35 catches, 400 rushing. Yeah, I mean that seems like a decent floor. We're gonna see what happens. I mean, he looked pretty good.
And also, too, the health of Kenneth Walker is going to be a big factor in Charbonnet's ceiling, or his floor, I should say. So I think that Charbonnet is really good. I took him in our home league, in our Dynasty league. And yeah, Kenneth Walker's a little banged up still with the, I think it was a groin or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But Kenneth Walker's been pretty banged up this preseason. So there could be a really, really good floor for Charbonnet this year.
Yeah, he can get picks back so many trades later. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about the picks. I mean, it's a star date. It's a shallow league, so you want as many hammers as you can get. So I don't mind that he doesn't really have the picks because he's got a team of guys that he can build around already. So, yeah, I mean, I like the squad, but those are the kind of things that we'd be looking at.
It's definitely the quarterback
to try and do for that team. Let me get the next one up in here. All right. Did you watch any of the hammer?
Say that again.
You see Bijan?
No.
I said, did you see Bijan?
Nah, I watched a little bit of the Packers, but not a ton. I've been super busy this past weekend.
Of course, you saw the Packers.
Yeah, buddy.
Jordan Love looked all right.
He looked damn good. The last two, the first two games, he looked really good. Confident, efficient, using his weapons.
Yep. I'm trying to get the next team up here, but computer's slow as shit. we go.
What do we got? What do we got?
Hold on, hold on. 7, 9. Alright. Hopefully this loads right up. So our next team is from Osvaldo. Looks like it is 6 point per passing touchdown, super flex, tight end premium. He says he's not sure where his team is at because he just did a startup, a rookie draft right after.
Okay.
And during the draft, he was trying to get people who would give him long-term success, but also staying competitive, not drafting directly into a rebuild. He wants to win within 3 years.
Okay.
Don't we all?
I want to win now and in 3 years.
All right.
What do we got?
I'm trying. I gotta type in the team here. Type in the league. All right, I think I got it. My computer's just mad slow. My bad. It's Vegas. I'm in this, and now it's starting to rain.
I was getting ready to say, what is that in the background?
That's the rain right there.
Rain in Vegas? The hell?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I can hop in a minute. All right, Hammer, pull up. Keep trade cut if you can, because you'll probably do it faster than me. It's giving me an error.
Keep trade cut.
Click on league power rankings.
League power rankings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sleeper ID. It says enter your sleeper league ID.
Mm-hmm.
You got it pulled up? All right, ready? Damn. Hold up.
Go ahead.
All right, 977. Hold on, I lost it. 6759.
Can't hear you.
Hold on.
Bro.
All right, here we go. 977-6759. 545 437 96224.
Start from the beginning. Bro, I said start from the beginning.
977.
Out. 9.
Can you hear me now?
977
675 954 543 796 224. That's it.
Okay.
All right, we got it.
Yep.
All right, can you pull it up? us off. It's all right. Diaz, what up, Diaz? We didn't get to yours yet. We're getting there.
See it?
All right. No. He said his idea for this team was to keep his two QBs, get as much long-term talent around them as possible. League started a month ago, no league last year. GMs are stingy with trades, valuing players at or near their potential.
Which team is it?
He's got Joe Burrow.
Which team? What's his team name?
I don't know. Look for the team with Joe Burrow.
Bro. Young boy, never burr again. Maybe.
Yeah, that's got to be it. Yep, that's it. All right, pull it up.
Can you see it?
Nah, pull it up on the screen.
You're lucky you got a seat, right?
I have it as sharing.
All right, hold on.
Share.
Share.
There you go. All right.
See it?
Yeah. So click on the power rankings.
Bro, this is this.
What happened?
It says I'm sharing. Hold on.
No, you just cut it off.
Because it was acting up. All right, you see it?
Yeah, show it on screen real quick. So Burrow, Pierce, Dillon, T. Higgins, Drake London, Cole Kmet, Terry McLaurin, Mike Williams, Trevor Lawrence. So we've got Burrow and T-Law. That's a good start.
With Kyler Murray and Stroud. No, this team should be ready to compete. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know. I just can't get comfy in that seat, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Pull it up. That's the way I had it. Go up. Click on the player power rankings, yeah. Looks like they're a top 3 team.
number 2 with the team and the picks. Players only. He's number 2.
Yeah. Okay, so click on the name so it opens up the team there. Boom. All right, read off the squad there.
So you got Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence, Kyler Murray, C.J. Stroud. That's a pretty good quarterback room. It looks super deep. There's a ton of players on the roster. Running backs, Dameon Pierce, Alvin Kamara, A.J. Dillon, Roschon, Jerome Ford. Wide receivers, T. Higgins, Drake London, Pickens, McLaurin, Deontay, Mike Williams, Mechie, and then a bunch of other guys at the bottom. Tight ends, Michael Mayer, Cole Kmet, Darnell Washington, Gerald Everett, Tucker Kraft, Hayden Hurst, Cameron Latu. His draft capital, he's got a 2024 first-round pick, 2025 his first-round pick, 2024 second. So it looks like he pretty much has all his picks.
We got this.
All right. He said, should I try and sell out a top long-term wide receiver like Garrett Wilson, or should I wait? Should I go for a premium tight end? Is my team close to win now or rebuild? So yeah, I'd say we're kind of in a win nowish area. I mean, you've got Burrow and Trevor Lawrence. So with those two guys, you're always going to be at least in the hunt, pretty much, when you have two quarterbacks like that. And go ahead, talk about the team a little bit, Hammer. I'm trying to pull up the WORP graph here.
And I just think that with the way you constructed this team, you have four essentially starting quarterbacks or four quarterbacks in a super flex with good value. So Kyler Murray and CJ Stroud have some really good value. So I'm looking at those guys and maybe a pick to be able to upgrade at least that wide receiver room, because after T. Higgins, I think Drake London is valuable, but we're still not sure with that quarterback situation. And then obviously Pickens and McLaurin, obviously, similar situations where they have good talent, but the quarterback situation, the offense they play on, they're not the hammers that like you like to say.
Yeah.
So I think you could, package either Kyler Murray or CJ Stroud and one of those picks and really get one of those hammer type wide receivers.
What's the league name when you look on? What's the league name on top?
League name here is Dynasty Dubs.
All right, perfect. WORP chart is calculating. Give me a sec.
So, pretty solid team. The number one team has Mahomes, Bijan, Olave, Hawkinson. So that's a pretty formidable team. Just with those four guys.
Okay,
but yeah, this team is pretty damn good.
No, because very few people know the US. A select few, right?
So you started off perfect, right? So the two QBs, that's big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not bad.
Good.
I know, right?
Yeah, so the WORP chart, when there's a lot of people on, sometimes it freezes, and that's kind of what happened to me real quick. So,
you want me to stop the share?
Yeah, pull up the league real quick. Pull up the team real quick as I try and fix this.
I think you're in. It's pulling it up.
So what do we need to upgrade?
Wide receiver, basically.
Because we're straight. We're not touching the QBs.
I mean, you can in terms of if you want to.
No.
If you want to upgrade that wide receiver, that's the only really way. Like you have four of them here. Somebody's going to need a quarterback.
So, all right. So yeah, you want top 12 QBs. You got two top 12 guys. So that's perfect. Looks like the wide receivers are over the running backs at pretty much every point all the way down. So we definitely want the wide receivers. Okay. So let's pull up his team again. Pull up the other one, Hammer. Pull up keep trade cut. You've already got the two most important things, at the QB position. So
it's up there.
Can we cheer up at wide receiver somewhere?
He was coming for.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was at with that. And I'm looking at Murray. I would keep CJ Stroud with those two guys.
He was supposed to leave like a day or two later. Right.
So who are we cheering up from at wide receiver here?
Could go after maybe
See, the problem is the league just started, right? So he's not going to be able to trade his QBs, I think. I think people just didn't value them, and they're not going to realize that right now. So Kyler is going to have to hold on to, and Stroud is going to have to hold on to for now, I think. So what can we do to cheer up? Can we cheer up, can we cheer up from Terry McLaurin or Mike Williams, right? You've got Dameon Pierce that you can sell. Because what I try to do is probably just try and shape up my wide receiver and my flexes, right? We've got T and we've got Drake London. So would you agree that we should probably keep those guys and not trade them? Unless a trade comes along that, obviously makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those are your foundational guys. So, but you got to get that you got to get that breakout guy at that position. And I think T Higgins has that potential, but as long as he's in Cincinnati, he's always going to be capped to some degree. So I think, you gotta reach for the stars. You got to go after a Jalen Waddle maybe.
Okay, so let's find Jalen Waddle. Who's got Jalen Waddle? Can we trade Terry McLaurin?
Right.
And like Dameon Pierce for
Ridley, Hollywood. I don't know if that would get it done.
What else do we got? We got Roshan. We've got Kamara. Let's look at who needs running back help.
Gibbs, Pollard, Madison.
Let's try and find somebody who needs running back help.
Kind of.
They do kind of need running back help.
Jahmyr Gibbs, Tony Pollard, Madison, A-Chain, Gibby.
I mean, I really need to. We need to find somebody that
James Cook.
All right, let's check a different team.
Breeze, ETN, Charbonnet, not really.
No.
Javonte Najee. It's pretty deep. Kenneth Walker, Henry Sanders, Cook, Saquon, Ramondre, Roshan, Bigsby, Piron, Joe, Eckler, Dobbins, Pacheco. This team here might need a little bit. They have Josh Jacobs, who's probably most likely might hold out. Mixon, Swift, Harris, and this team has CD and AJ Brown.
Yeah, I think what we need to do is take Terry. We need to take Terry and/or take Mike Williams and a running back and try and solidify those flex positions with as top wide receivers as you can get.
It's only 10 teams, so it's not crazy.
Yeah, so we need to cheer up because we need the hammers, right? We're good at QBs. Now let's solidify these wide receivers, right? So we need to try and cheer up if we can.
We also have to be realistic because it is 10 team and
they did just start it.
And they did just start. So this team here has Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Diggs. I mean, they don't really need too much running back help, but they might need quarterback help. They got a Rich and
yeah, so I think that probably since it is, since the league just did start, we're probably going to have to wait until the season comes to actually make, some moves that are not just making moves to make moves, right? Once the season starts, people are going to start to realize they probably need some QBs or they want better QBs. And maybe at that point, then you can move some guys. But like I said, if you can move, a Terry or a Mike Williams and a Dameon Pierce to cheer up, or AJ Dillon or Kamara, whoever else you've got, to solidify some top wide receivers, and then that's the route I would go. He does have, he got Deontay, right?
Yep.
Deontay, George Pickens. So what you really want to do is try and package a few of those guys together, especially in a 10 team, and see if you can tier up to someone higher. So you might have to spend a little more. But yeah, you've got pretty much 4 wide receivers that you can kind of play with and use that value to try and cheer up right now.
Yeah, I agree, and I think
so
especially
who needs wide
teams
receiver
that
then?
are like mid to the bottom.
Yeah, so who needs wide receivers then? Where's a team there that needs some wide receivers? Since that's kind of like where we have some of our assets at that we can move. Let's try and find one at least good target that might work. Because being that it is the first year, it's going to be kind of tough. Nobody's going to be thinking like tank right now. Like, DS is saying, look for the team that's clearly collapsing for Caleb. I don't think there's anybody that's really clearly collapsing because it is the first year for this particular team. So during the season, we might have to. So, and that's the thing. Nobody really valued Kyler, or the QBs at the time. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe, like you said, like a Devonta Smith at this point, but it's going to be tough because we don't know how much value that Kyler has in this particular league. Being that it's only 10 team, most teams have 3, quarterbacks. So that's really going to be tough. But I think that is where the value is in his team, is that he has 4 basically starting quarterbacks that have some value in Kyler, in CJ Stroud. Obviously, you're not moving Burrow or Lawrence. So I think that's where his value is, and he has to kind of, like you said, take some of the value from the running back position, and maybe some of these guys like a Terry, maybe a Deontay. I know you like Deontay. Mike Will is a guy definitely you want to move. But I think you will get some tremendous value for a guy like Kyler Murray once the season starts, and once Kyler Murray gets back on the field, to be honest with you. And I think that's where you could really tier up and get a Jalen Waddle, or somebody. Let's look at some of these bottom rated teams. Maybe you could get a Cheetah to take you over the top and solidify. I know he's a little bit older. So that might be a guy that could be expendable on a bottom team if you want to go over the top.
Yeah, it's just going to be tough to trade at the moment, right? We're going to have to just wait for the season and for things to clear up. But go back to his team real quick. Let's just take a look at what's some of the wide receivers that was after Mike Williams there, because I can't see it.
You got Mechie, Michael Wilson, Boutte, Tolbert, Devontae Parker, Torrey.
Yeah, all those guys are droppable. You don't need any of those guys. So especially in this format. So what you can do is put them on the block, see if you can get a pick for any of them, a 4th or 3rd. If not, you can drop them. I mean, just pick up a backup running backs is kind of what you want to have on your team. Because you can possibly move them during the season for some picks if they're getting some spot starts here and there, right? QBs, who does he have? Minshew and Heineke. You could probably get rid of those guys as well. You're not going to need them. And then tight ends, we've got a bunch of there. Here's DS. DS says it right here. He's got too many tight ends and wide receiver roster cloggers. Yep. Absolutely. So tight ends, yeah. I mean, after Darnell Washington, all those guys you can just clip from right there. Keep Mayer and who is that? Komet that says?
Mayer and Komet, yep.
Yeah, you keep them. The rest of them drop. You drop.
Looks like the roster is pretty large, though. Like the rosters are pretty large because everybody has like a ton of guys. You know,
Well, that's where you take advantage, right? When guys have a good preseason game or make a good catch or something, right? That's where you sell them right off real quick. So that's just a way to kind of just clear up the roster because you just don't need those. You don't need those. You don't need those guys.
Agreed, but you have a really good starting. You know, you have a good core, especially the quarterback, and that's important in these super flex leagues where your value, as Diaz was saying, is going to be in Kyler Murray. That's going to land you the big fish wide receiver once the season starts. You see what team is kind of falling to the bottom, and you could be able to target that team. Maybe they need a quarterback. Maybe a quarterback gets hurt, something like that, and you'll be able to kind of use Kyler as that chip.
Mm-hmm. All right, Hammer. I got the next one here. Yep. Are you ready for the number?
Oh shit. Hold on. Computer's slow as shit.
Yeah, I thought it was just me, but
change league. All right, go for it.
All right, 916-867-638-094. 336. League name should be ALMS for IRS. Give me the username. All right, you got it there?
See it? Mm-hmm.
Hurts don't it looks like is his team.
Mm-hmm.
You got it there?
Yeah, hit share. It should be there.
All right. Oh, what happened? Just deleted it. You just took it off.
Yeah, no, I wasn't seeing it on the screen.
Yeah, because you got to hit it. Hold on.
It says sharing. I don't know. It's computer.
Show on stream. It should be showing now.
It is.
All right, here we go. Boom. Go ahead. Read it off, Hammer. What we got?
There you go. We got quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, and a bunch of nothing. Running backs, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, Kendre Miller, Jerome Ford, Zach Evans, Deonta Foreman. Wide receivers, pretty damn good. Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, Drake London, Mike Will, Gabe Davis, and a bunch of nothing. Tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram, and your boy Irv Smith. And it looks like he has all of his draft picks as well.
Okay, and it looks like he's a top 2 team there, right?
Top 2, yep.
All right, so we got Hurts and Watson
really
at
strong team.
Right?
With Goff, yep. With Goff as your third.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. That's good.
Yep. I like that too. I like that a lot.
And let's see what John.
Your running backs are solid too with Breece and Etienne.
So he says that this year he's not going to be competing. He's going to be on vacation for most of the NFL season. Strategy is he wants to tank and land Caleb and trade assets away for the 102 to land Marvin Harrison Jr. I want to trade assets. I have picks in 2024 during the season. He wants to trade Mike Williams, Ingram, Goff, etc. League was started in 2022. He came in 6th last year, so he was middle of the pack. People in his league value super young assets and picks in the offseason, players during the season. So who's the wide receivers we've got there?
Damn good. Garrett Wilson, CeeDee Lamb, Drake London. That's pretty damn good. I would be hesitant to move that. Drake London maybe.
And yeah, I don't know if you can necessarily tank here. That's going to be you're going to have to literally just trade everybody. But I wouldn't
do with the no, with the foundational pieces you have, you don't need to do that.
Wouldn't do that. Scroll up. What does it say? Is what start 10? I think it's a start 10. On the top of the page, it should say like start. Okay, so it's a start 10 Superflex. It is another 10-team league. So again, we want the hammers. You've got some hammers.
A few of them.
All right, who's after Drake? Who do we got after Drake London here?
After Drake London, Mike Will, Gabe Davis, Puka Nacua, Khalil Shakir, Tyquan Thornton, Tyler Scott.
Yeah, I'm not for giving away Wilson, CD, or Drake London. Like I don't see there's a way to tank without giving up those guys, and I'm not. Because then you're just going to want to build the team of the same thing. Like, no, it just doesn't make sense. So we can't do that. We've got Brees and who each.
Yeah.
Brees
Hall, Travis Etienne, Kendre Miller, Jerome Ford. He's got good young assets. Hurts, Watson, Garrett, CD, Drake London. He's got Kyle Pitts at tight end, Brees Hall, Etienne at running back. It's kind of a win now team.
Yeah, man. I don't unless you want to trade your running back.
I think
pop up on wide receivers. You know, unless you want to tier up at wide receiver.
And I think what you said kind of makes sense.
What?
A tier up to what exactly? He's got tier up to what? What is he tearing up to exactly? He's got Garrett and CD.
Yeah, I mean, unless you tier up from Drake London.
Which, if Drake London's your third wide receiver, you're in pretty good shape. Like, honestly.
Yeah, but if you can tier, I mean, I'm okay to tier up if you can. I mean, if that's even possible. I mean, I don't know. Look at some of the other teams. Let's see what some of the other teams got here at running back and or wide receiver. But let's see if there's anything that kind of jumps out
so this
that
team here
need.
So this team here has Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Miles Sanders.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay. Chase, Quentin Johnson, Ridley, Debo, McLaurin. That's not that bad.
Okay.
Next team has Eckler, Ramondre. This team might need a little bit of help. They have Devonta Smith and Devontae Adams, Hollywood, D-Hop. This team could use wide receiver help a little bit. Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy, Zay Flowers, Michael Pittman, Christian Kirk, your boy Sky Moore. Not great after Jefferson, but solid. This team,
I don't know.
Rob, Waddle, JSN, pretty good. Yeah. Hill, Diggs, Pickens, Lockett. After Diggs, really, on this team, could use some wide receiver help, depending on how much they value Pickens and Lockett.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get Diggs, maybe if you can get Diggs for trading some wide receivers, if you can get, if if you want to go for it. I got Spencer the Guru over here in the house.
What up?
Spence, what up?
What up, Dynasty Life fam? How y'all doing? Spencer the Guru.
Spencer the Guru. He's got a show on the 420 Hustler Network.
Yeah, I just lost Final Jeopardy to freaking Bogey, but I'm gonna get my revenge.
Oh, y'all play Jeopardy?
Yeah, I had it won and I choked on the Final Jeopardy, but we're gonna shake that.
There's Crispy. What up, Crispy? Yeah, I mean, so if you want to go all out, but he's saying he wants to tank, but I don't necessarily think I have any advice for tanking here.
I agree.
I don't think I really want you in a 10 team. You already got a top team, so I don't even if you tried, it's going to be hard.
This team here needs wide receiver help. After A.J. Brown, they got Evans, Mechie. Really, it's A.J. Brown and Mike Evans. Mechie, Delph, Renfro, Thielen.
What wide receiver? What running backs they got? Monty, Henry, is that I see there?
McCaffrey, Zamir White, Deuce on, Chuba.
You know, can you get A.J. Brown by trading two guys, you know?
Drake London.
And
yeah, if you could get A.J. Brown, trade Drake London.
So yeah, I'm not gonna give you advice to tank here because I don't think it doesn't really make much sense to do that. I know you want to. I know you want Caleb Williams or Marvin Harrison, but I don't think that's a need. I don't think that's a need right here. It's gonna be tough to do that.
I would agree because I think this team as presently constructed, like if you're selling off Garrett Wilson to get Marvin Harrison or CeeDee Lamb to get Marvin Harrison, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because you know what these guys are already. Mm-hmm. Young stud guys. Like you have that. So that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to tank this team. This team clearly is at least a top 3. You know?
Yeah. I mean, we see it right there.
Based on the information we're looking at, you got Hurts, Watson, you got Breeze. Like this team is ready to roll, and it looks like it's ready to roll for a while. Actually,
you're better off,
stud guys that you have at every position.
Yeah, you're better off waiting until somebody has Marvin Harrison on their team, and then try and trade for him at that point. But you're not going to be able to tank and be able to get him. At least with your pick. So
yeah, I would agree, and I think the best route would be to see how the season plays out. Once you know at the end of the season what team is last, then maybe you could trade, a Drake London plus for that 102, whatever. I think that's the best route if you want that guy, because selling off all these assets, that doesn't guarantee you that top, pick that you're looking for. So play the season out. You could probably compete for a ship and then target the team with the pick and give him a young Drake London, maybe a Jared Goff if they need a quarterback and go from there, or an ETN even. You can move ETN. That's the best route if you want that guy.
I agree. I don't think there's much else. Yeah, there's not much else to say about that team. I think I've got 2 more. We got 2 more to go over. Diaz is actually the next team that we've got up here. I'll give you the number as soon as you're ready.
Go.
937 068 404 501 020 672. This is the Armchair QB League.
12 teams, start 10.
Yeah.
Superflex. Which team?
And I didn't have the username for the last one, so I wasn't able to pull up the WORP, but we've got the WORP on this one.
What's Diaz's team name?
He said Armchairs QB, Big Diaz Energy. Shit, did he not say what his team name was? Come on, Diaz. Diaz, if you're out there, what's your team name?
Definitely out there. We know that.
I know he's out there. But I'll go over at least. I guess let's look at the WORP data, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the team here. So I've asked everybody questions just to kind of get an idea of what they want to do with the team. Oh, come on. He's got 2 futures to play with. The team's always in the mix because of his QBs, so he's got to have 2 good QBs, it looks like. He's got 0 RBs, 2 futures to play with. It's more than a wild card team, depending on the luck and variance of the season. His goal in the startup was to trade up, grab 2 of his top 10 QBs, trade back as much as possible for 24 firsts. Got to feel like these guys were from another league that folded. Everyone was making crazy deals during the startup. He said his goal now is to try and extract value from whatever pieces he has, not QBs. I want future liquids to possibly trade for contending pieces later during the season. Okay. Started up in February. No one is trading right now. No value right now. RBs were highly valued during the startups.
Oh, the birthday was their celebration for this Dynasty. Oh, okay.
We just got to find Diaz's team. What's some of the teams with 2 good QBs?
First team, the top team has Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Purdy. Second team has Herbert, Fields, Stetson Bennett. Mud Dogs has Hurts, Ritter, Mayfield, Darnold, no. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
He's got 0 RBs. He said he's got 0 RBs. Does that team have 0 RBs?
Nah, this has Henry, Mixon.
At least 2 RBs.
0 RBs look like RBs are blue. Let's see.
Could be 0 RB strat. Oh, come on.
DM Kush. Goff, Wilson. He's got 2 good QBs. Let's go Ayuk. This might be it. He's got Mahomes and Lawrence. And then his running backs are A-Chain, Bigsby, Miller, Ford. This could be it.
Where you at, Diaz?
This might be.
All right, so read off that squad, Hammer.
He's got Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, running backs, A-Chain, Bigsby, Miller, Ford. Bunch of nothing after that. Wide receivers are DJ Moore, Ayuk, Treylon Burks, Mike Evans, Nico Collins, Jaden Reed, Alan Lazard. Tight end is TJ Hawk. And it looks like he has a ton of draft picks.
Read off the wide receivers again.
DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Treylon Burks, Mike Evans, Nico Collins, Jaden Reed, Alan Lazard.
Okay. Let's pull up the WORP chart real quick and look at that before it times out on me. All right, so I mean, as always, the QBs are up there. Wide receivers again is over running back. So in the flex, we want wide receivers. Okay.
I got all the questions right in final.
So let's pull up his team again. We know we've got the QBs already stacked. So that is DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Treylon Burks, that says?
Mm-hmm.
Almost had to put it
Got
anyway.
greedy.
Yeah, I kind of did. I was-
So he wants to just extract value from all his pieces that are not QBs. He wants futures to possibly trade for contending pieces during the season. So, I mean, what do you have that you can trade right now? I mean, TJ Hawkinson, DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, Treylon Burks, right?
Yep.
That's what we're looking at as the value outside of the QB position, right? I mean, Bigsby's getting a lot of play, a lot of talk right now, so that could be a piece you could possibly try and move with a wide receiver. But let's find some teams that would want a DJ Moore or maybe a Brandon Ayuk.
Wide receivers Green. So this team right here, Pittman, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Gabe Davis. This is a good team for that. See it?
So can we ask for
Sunny, warm. I didn't prepare as usual.
I was gonna say to get Keenan Allen, trade DJ Moore, trade DJ Moore, get Keenan Allen plus.
I bought this sweater in LA, so.
Right? That's kind of like the idea, it seems like, that he wants to do or almost do. He said he's going to have to wait till during the season to buy some vets maybe. So
Let's take a look at another team. What's the wide receiver? Wide receiver is Green.
these were highly valued.
So yeah, this team doesn't have very good wide receiver. Their top wide receiver is Michael Pittman. He's wide receiver 30. This team, that's his team. Let's see. One Rock.
McCarter has
Devontae, Amari Cooper, Tyler Lockett, T. Higgins, Pickens, Godwin, Jameson, Sky Moore.
So he gave me some.
I don't know what you could work out there. Right here.
McCarter, yeah, he said he's only got one QB.
They got some.
Do we have a
Yeah,
third?
basically,
QB?
Kyler's hurt. He's got Lamar.
Do we have a third QB?
Mac Jones.
He loves himself some Mac Jones, doesn't he, Diaz? Okay, so that's a possibility if you wanted to get rid of the third QB. What does he have there? What can we possibly ask for on that team that
Carter?
needs that QB? Yeah, that needs that QB.
Pickens, Sky, your boy Sky Moore,
Oh, okay, great.
JMO would be cheap at this point. Tillman, Pickens.
Kind of wants the veteran. So if we gave up Mac Jones,
Godwin.
we ask for. Does this guy have a first? McCarter?
Yep. He's got his 2024 first and his 2025 first and his 2026 first.
Is it possible to extract the first? It could be, but I don't know if he wants to give up. If he wants to give up Mac.
I mean, Mac Jones isn't exactly a world beater like that.
No, he's not. But if a person that has Kyler Murray who still wants to try to compete, that needs a quarterback,
Yep, it'll be
may or may not want to, right? May or may not want to give up something, and that might be during the season too. It might be, might have to wait again. Just started this league up.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can get a first for DJ Moore. Who needs wide receivers? If we were to just strip down our wide receivers that we do have, right? What was it? DJ Moore, Ayuk, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we just want to try and get some firsts.
So this team right here has Cooper Kupp, Debo, D-Hop, Mooney, Shaheed, Claypool, Thornton.
That looks like a good team. Maybe we can trade one of those wide receivers to grab that first, right?
2020. They don't have a 2024 first.
They don't have a 2024 first? Oh, shit.
No.
All right. What about the worst team over there on 12, team 12? Do they need a wide receiver?
No, they don't. They actually have really good Amon-Ra, Cheetah, Diggs, Ridley, McLaurin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I was looking for.
Yeah, there's an empty roll right there.
Oh, sweet.
Check out some of the other ones. What we got?
I mean, Rolling Rock has.
Caddy. What up, Caddy? It's been a while, bro.
Hot wings.
This team here, Attaboy, has Michael Pittman, Keenan, Mike Will, Gabe Davis, Romeo Dubes. This is probably the worst wide receiver.
They have a first?
Yep.
Do we want to just straight up? I mean, if you just want the picks, I guess.
I mean, this is a top 4 team according to this. I mean, it's pretty close. Like it's bunched up pretty close. Like the top team, is the top team, and then really basically 2 through. So you could get the first. How valuable that first might be is debatable at this point. So I think, I think honestly, during the season it might be better because you'll have a better idea of where these teams kind of stand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So during the season, you can try and trade whoever's obviously not going to be contending. Try and take some of those veteran players. Trade, DJ Moore and try and get. That's good. That's the other tough part. Is are they going to want to give up their first at that point?
Mm-hmm. If it's going to be a good first,
top. So, how many firsts do we have? Did he say he got some firsts?
He's got 2 2024 firsts.
All right, so we just have 2. So
Yeah, so I think, especially for the COVID teams, yeah. Hey, what goes on? Yeah, they needed the minimum of 3, 1 for the team, yeah, rest of you guys. So
yeah, it's gonna be tough. It might be tough right now, especially right now. So yeah, we are gonna have to wait till the season. Can you buy some vets to compete during the season though?
I think the Keenan thing was a decent idea if he's trying to employ that specific strategy, but
can we tear down from? What do you think about tearing down from T.J. Hawkinson
to what?
Anything. It doesn't even matter. Who needs a tight end?
I mean, this same team has Dalton Schultz, Dawson Knox, Irv Smith.
Okay, that seems like a good team to attack. So, what wide receivers did they have again?
They're probably thinking
Pittman, Keenan, Mike Will, Gabe Davis, Romeo Dubes, Rondell Moore, Odell.
right? But
Can I do it?
They have a first or no?
And then they put me.
Can I do it?
Yep.
So, yeah, can we do like T.J. Hawk for?
I remember one time I was playing.
I want to say like Keenan Allen in the first, but we got Bogart. We got Bogey up over here.
I just wanted to interrupt the show one time. What's up, Hammer?
What up, man? How you?
I'm pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a lot of designer drugs right now. Yourself?
Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. All right, y'all. Yeah, you think it's on Jeopardy, bro?
Yeah.
I'm a 2-time champ now.
Yeah.
Man.
Who's after Keenan Allen? You said Mike Williams. Is that Gabe Davis?
I'll be hot about that for a while. Oh yeah, definitely.
Mike Will, Gabe Davis, Romeo Dubes, Rondell Moore, Justin Ross, Odell, KJ Osborne.
Yeah, I mean, if we just want the first, hey, you got no tight end. Hawkinson for the first? I think this is tight end premium, but and then take one or two of those tight ends back. Dolan Schultz.
Yeah, you could do that if you want the asset.
I'll take Schultz on the first for Hawkinson if we just want some assets. That would probably be a good team to try and go after.
Yeah, I would agree.
It is going to be a late one. Is that Joe Burrow and Josh Allen that says?
Yep.
All right. Is there any other team that maybe the first would be better in, or that needs a tight end?
Fleece me.
Fleece me. Okay. I think he said he traded with Fleece me before. So
He did. He got his first.
Oh, he has his first already.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Oh, he does have his first to trade?
No, he has Fleece me's first.
He has Fleece me's first already. Shit. What wide receivers does Fleece me got?
Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, DK Metcalf.
Oh, okay. So can we trade Hawkinson and grab one of these wide receivers?
Devonta?
Any of them, really.
Wouldn't mind that.
Can we trade, or can we trade? I guess Devonta would be the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So who would that be? TJ Hawkinson plus what? A second, maybe?
Yeah, potentially.
I don't know if he wants to give up any of the assets, but yeah, if you can come off of Hawkinson to go get Devonta, I'd be okay with that. And then you still need what's his backup tight end? Chig. Okay, that's not. Yeah, I mean, you could ask for one of the other dudes' tight ends back. Does he have a tight end he could just give up back with that in that trade too?
Higbee.
Oh, Higbee's a nice little sleeper, dude. Hell yeah. I'd be okay with that.
I just wonder how much, like, if he just wants assets, you could move Hawkinson for. I mean, yeah, to get Devonta Smith would be good because then you could flip Devonta Smith into something else.
You know, unless people value Hawkinson more. I mean, I don't know. I wish he was in here. Damn, DS.
He was earlier.
But yeah, that's really kind of the only things that we really can do at this point. You know, but DS, hit us up, let us know.
Yeah, I think once the season starts, some of these guys, like you said, Bigsby might have some really good value that you'd be able to move. Maybe a Kendre Miller early on in the season with Kamara out might net you some good value.
It's like I don't mind the running backs, right? So right, we got the QB set, but now if you got DJ Moore, Brandon Ayuk, and Devonta Smith, you know, that gives you some pieces that you can use even to cheer up if you need to do anything from there. You've got some draft capital, right? So, you know, can you cheer up from one of those guys from there, right? That's probably a lot easier to cheer up from Devonta Smith, you know, to a top guy with some of the assets, right? So those are just some things that we can think about going, you know, down the stretch.
Yes, sir.
What else you got? Anything else you got for this team, Hammer?
Nah, not really. I think that, you know, getting some assets like a Devonta Smith would be good because down the road you can move him for a first plus something else like a veteran.
wish you didn't invite me back.
But yeah, I mean, you could try and strip it down just for first and just, regroup it next year, see what's going on, or, wait till the season and kind of take it from there, what you want to do. So I think, unfortunately, it's one of those situations where you have to kind of wait until the season and kind of determine what you want to do from there, especially since the startup just happened. That's the thing about when the startup happens is it's rough to start trading right away before the season starts. So
because there's nothing happening. There's no true value.
Yeah. All right, we got one more, Hammer.
I bet my little 400 I had.
It's gonna be Zachary's. Caddy said he got a 6th pick in his league for redraft. So who should he go for?
I was just answering the questions. I was getting all the questions.
At the 6th spot,
I'm guessing 1 QB. So
Mahomes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, one QB.
He did it. He did it.
I didn't spend it all. I spent most of it though, so I still lost.
Yeah.
So you got Bijan, you got any of the top basically 3 running backs or top 3 wide receivers. So I mean, JJ Chase, CD Lamb,
He was killing me.
right? Bijan, CMC, Eckler.
Brown.
It's only 8 men, so yeah. I mean, I don't know, Caddy. 8 men that's rough.
Super shallow.
All right, you ready for this last one, Hammer?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, so this is Zach's. This is 978 384 872 907 599 872.
Hold on.
Come on, Hammer. Kelsey, Kelsey's a good spot. Kelsey, I forgot about Kelsey. Kelsey, you can take real early. I mean, people have been taking him
9, 7, 8,
mega early.
8.
But
That's
right, Chris.
I set my watch at 5:30.
Basically, I wasn't finished, and they're saying, "What? That's like,
I'm trying. Let me bring up the WORP for this league.
I got it.
You got a Hammer?
Get this done. Get my shit packed. Yeah,
Yo.
just get up, drink some water, eat a croissant, brush my teeth.
Then we have to learn.
And we'll pull up the WORP here. Zach D19. And that is my beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy league. All right. I don't know what happened to Hammer. He got kicked out, but let's pull up the WORP for this league. Let's check out what we got for Zach here. So he said it's a PPR 4-point passing touchdown. League is brand new. Just did the startup draft a couple weeks back. So this looks like this is a 1 QB. We've got the QB line under. We've got running back, wide receiver. So wide receiver looks like is going to be the more important position that's going to give you the most WORP here. So we're going to put wide receiver in the flex spot. Based on his roster, he believes he can make the playoffs this season. There's some stacked win now teams in the league. He doesn't know if he has a chance. He thinks his team is built to do well next season or the season after. So he thinks he's somewhere in the middle. Strategy with 2 flex was to get some young stud wide receivers that could really break out this season and get me wins for years to come, being Olave, Waddle, Judy, Dotson. Took a risk at running back because the ADPs were dropping, Jacobs and Dobbins. Think it'll work out nicely. I was thinking of maybe trying to put some of my running backs together to get another wide receiver. Okay. Nick, what up, Nick? Where's Nick's at? Did we do yours already, Nick? Let me find it. Where is it at, Nick? I got you in here somewhere. But yeah, I got yours next. Let me find it. There it is. Nick, what I need from you is okay, username and the league name. Perfect. And the league ID. All right, I got you, Nick. Diaz went for a mental health walk with your girl. Damn, yeah, we just kind of we're going over some of the stuff for you, Diaz. Hammer just got kicked out. I don't know what's happening with Hammer, but let's pull up this league, and then we'll finish it off with Nick's.
And then even if you're walking like on the strip, very good. California.
And I'm out. I mean, we're in Vegas right now, so I'm not at my computer with my whole nice setup and able to do everything nice. So bear with me. Here comes Polish Hammer coming back. If I can find him. No. All good. All good, DS. Let's see.
Computer.
All right, Hammer.
Crapped out on me.
I am attempting to. All right, I got it pulled up here and keep trade cut. So. Boom. Okay, so Zach is actually ranked the #1 team here. Let's check it out, Zach. So Zach with Trevor Lawrence and Brock Purdy, and this is a 1 QB start 8. So very, very shallow. Josh Jacobs, J.K. Dobbins, Waddle, Olave, Judy Dotson. Tight ends, Ingram, Juwan Johnson, Henry. Looks like he's got all his picks, except for a third. No. So, okay, Trevor Lawrence.
That'll work. That will
Strategy
work.
was to get some young stud wide receivers that could break out. That's what he said. Took a risk at running back because the ADPs were dropping. No, I like it. I mean, you've got good wide receivers, you've got good running backs. I mean, you're ranked, first in the league. So yeah, I mean, I think you did a great job drafting at least. Waddle, Olave, Judy is nice. Now, can we? I would say first thing is can we tier up from that? Right? It's only start 8, right? So. Can we combine Judy and Dotson and tier up to a even better wide receiver? I mean, at tight end, we've got Ingram, Juwan Johnson, Hunter Henry. I mean, are we trying to do anything at tight end, Hammer?
Potentially, but you have to really decide if you want to tier up at tight end or wide receiver, just because the assets in such a shallow league, it's going to be a little bit harder. So, you have to make that decision first. Do I want to go for the tight end? And basically it's Kelsey, Hawkinson, Andrews, and everybody else when you start to think about it. So I think you have a better opportunity to go after the wide receiver just because there's more of them. You know what I mean? So I think going after the wide receiver is the smarter choice here, just because there's a plethora of wide receivers that you could go after that are more attainable. You know, if you're gonna allocate your assets somewhere, you rather go to wide receiver than tight end, in my estimation.
So let's tear up at wide receiver. I think that's kind of the one thing that really makes the most sense, right?
Judy and Dotson.
I mean, I'm okay with huh?
Judy and Dotson for T. Higgins.
We're looking at some of the teams. Yeah, that could be a possible much wide receivers. So can we go after a T. Higgins? Come on. Jamar Chase. I mean,
I don't know if what is that package. So it's basically Judy and Dotson. I don't think that's going to get you Jamar Chase. If you want to,
no,
does he have his pick?
That's Chase.
Does he have picks?
Yeah, he's got picks, but I mean, that's not going to get a Chase. I was just kind of reading down Devontae Debo. No. Where's Devontae? CD Ridley, maybe.
Ridley's a little bit older. I think if you're gonna go for it,
that's okay.
You want.
We got some young guys though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, in the start day, we want some hammers, so like I'm okay with that. Jefferson, Diggs, Kirk, Juju, Diggs. I don't care if they're a little bit older because it's such a shallow, right?
So Diggs to go at Waddle and Olave. I like that.
Yeah, like, you know, if you got one older guy, that I'm fine because you've got the two younger guys that you're building around, right? So
I would agree. So you go Judy and Dotson for Diggs.
I mean, that'll get you in pretty good contention there. I mean, unless we try and tear up from Trevor Lawrence. Like if we were to tear up from Trevor Lawrence, it'd have to be like Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. And at one QB, it's going to be. You might have to just stick it out with. You might have to stick it out with T-Lo and hope that he kind of takes it to that next level, right?
Which I feel pretty good about, honestly. If in a one quarterback league, if I got Trevor Lawrence, I feel solid with that.
That's what I'm saying. So we're good there with Trevor. You're good with Waddle, Olave. You're fine at tight end. I mean, you could try and tear up if you want, but you got Ingram. He just got the contract. It's a good offense. He's paired with Trevor Lawrence, so you got the little stack there for the QB tight end. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I think the real next thing to kind of take that next step would be to tear up from the Jerry Jeudy Dotson and get another guy in that Olave and Waddle area, right?
Yeah, I would agree. The T. Higgins thing is not bad. Jeudy and Dotson for T. Higgins, that could work.
Or any guys in that range, right?
Ridley's interesting because you could have. I don't know if you want to go with
Higgins,
triple stack.
T. Higgins, Ridley, Diggs. I think we named a few. I'm just looking to see if there's anybody else I've missed.
Smith could be another one.
Devonta Smith could be one. I mean, you can try and get A.J. Brown to see what it costs, but don't really want any of them. I mean, I'm okay with Amari. Like, can I get Amari plus for Jeudy? Right?
Yeah. That wouldn't be that bad. I mean, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about Amari Cooper. I'd rather I'd rather look.
Oh, but in your
elsewhere,
flux,
but
as a guy that can be, in the top 20, pick up an asset with it. I mean, that's only if you can, but if somebody will overpay for it. But being that it is that first season, this one, St. Brown, JSN, right? St. Brown would be a decent target. They don't have much after, St. Brown. They got JSN, Mike Williams. So,
yeah, I would shop around that Judy Dotson combo.
mhm.
And you should be able to fetch something halfway decent. I don't mind Diggs. I don't mind Ridley. I would love T. Higgins or Devonta Smith if you could, but Ridley seems solid, and obviously you would stack him with Trevor Lawrence as well. So if you could go after Ridley, that wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah. I mean, and let me go back to this team real quick. We'll see if there's anything we can kind of shave off this squad. I mean, Tyler Scott, Khalil Shakir, I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson, these guys are never going to see the lineup. I would sell them for any kind of pick that you can get, really.
Wan'Dale's interesting. I think Wan'Dale could have some value, especially if he has a good start to the season. But
No, I like Wan'Dale, but not in this format. He's never going to see the field, being that it's only start 8.
right.
I don't think he's ever going to be able, to get in your lineup. So, but you can hold him just because people might like him. Wait for he's a guy that you can hold just to wait and see if that value goes up. But, people are going crazy for Dell right now. Can you get a second? Well, I mean, give me the second. I know it's 1 QB, but I'll still take the second.
True. Especially after a decent preseason.
Just take advantage.
But yeah, I think especially with this team, like you said, you want that third. You want that third guy to go with Waddle and Olave, and like you said too, if it is a veteran, that's fine. Like a Diggs, like a Ridley, Devontae Adams, maybe a little bit interesting to a lesser degree, a Cooper Kupp, guys that are still going to be super productive, but maybe other guys are, kind of on the downturn in terms of what their value might be because they're older. So you could look at some of that, and that would really cap it off nicely.
Yeah. But I think that's really all I'm really looking at to do. I mean, if you've got to give up a running back to get a top wide receiver, I mean, I'm not opposed to that either.
A Bigsby, a Herbert.
Oh, he's got JK and Jacob. So let's see if is there anybody that needs running back help, really? Like Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith. I mean, this guy's got Stevenson and Swift and Brian Robinson, right? Can I trade Jacobs or Dobbins for a Garrett Wilson?
That's going to be tough. You probably have more success getting Devonta Smith if you paired Jacobs and maybe Dotson for Devonta plus a little bit. See what you could get, maybe a pick second in there somewhere.
See if there's anybody else that needs.
I think this in this route, what you said makes more sense. If you go after a veteran that's a little bit older, 28, 29, 30 maybe even in Devontae Adams' case, because those guys might be easier to pry away than a younger dude like a Garrett Wilson.
Diggs. It might be Diggs here. I mean, they've got no running backs really. A-Chain, Madison, Aaron Jones. Mm-hmm. You might be able to get away with up a running back there and taking Diggs. So that could be an option too. I think that's the only thing I kind of see right off the bat there. That might be a good possibility.
We are 3 weeks away from the full slate, and we are 17 days away from the opening game. It's a beautiful thing.
We are. All right, we got one more to do real quick before we get out of here. Let's get Nick's up in here. Username is username is Teddy Horsecock. Nick, that's funny, bro. I like that, bro. And the league name is Sus Trades Only. Let's calculate this WORP real quick. I'll bring up the WORP chart, and then we'll take a look at the team.
That's fucking hilarious.
Damn.
So it's a little different with this. Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Have to
Damn,
get
did I
one
not
QB
send him all
league.
the questions? I don't think I sent him all the questions to answer. All right, my bad. Usually I send out some questions like, what do you plan on doing with your team? What's your plan? Okay, so it looks like this is a 1 QB as well. Let's see. We've got wide receivers pretty much over the running backs the whole way down. So another one where you're going to want to have a wide receiver over the running back in the flex spot. And let's pull up Nick's team here. What you doing with your teams, Hammer? You made any trades lately?
Nah, not really. I should have been able to trade Josh Jacobs before this whole thing. His value is just fucking in the tank right now. And for what he is, I'm not going to get the value, so I'm going to ride it out. I'm in a tough situation in our home league because my running backs are just fucking thin as fuck. So it's going to be tough for me. I love my team in our subscriber league, but in our home league, and that's a 14-team league, our home league. So that's going to be tough. I got Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris. I do have Jeff Wilson, Mitchell. I do have Zamir White. So if Josh Jacobs doesn't play, it looks like Zamir White will get some of that burn. He got 10 carries in the last game for 40 yards. So, we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely a little on the fence about making any trades because I don't want somebody to try and fleece me. I was actually in trade talks for James Cook, but it kind of broke down. This person wanted a first-round pick plus 2 wide receivers, a first-round pick plus 2 running backs for James Cook, and I'm just like, dude, you're not fleecing me. Like, I'm not getting fleeced. So I was on the running back hunt in our league, but it didn't work out.
All right, let's pull up Nick's real quick. One last year, trying to repeat, but potentially tear off some old vets. So it looks like he did win. He did win last year. He is the number 1 ranked team in the league. 1 QB. Starting 9. So we've got Jalen Hurts, McCaffrey, Pollard, Connor, Warren, Mitchell, Elliott, Foreman, Hunt, Davis, Evans, Blackshear, Latavius Murray. We've got CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, Michael Thomas, Mike Wilson, Puka, Tyquan Thornton, Corey Davis. We've got Travis Kelce. So, yeah, we're definitely in the win now. We've got no 2024 first or picks in general. So, I mean, what do you think, Hammer, of the team first off?
I love it. I love it all the way around. He's got hammers at every position. and I could see why he won. Kind of no getting around it.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Yeah, I mean, CD, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore. Do we want to move off of Cooper Kupp and go after a young wide receiver? If that's what you're trying to do, if that's what you mean by getting rid of some of the old, I mean, because you don't have much old. I mean, I'm keeping Kelsey till the wheels fall off, right? Doesn't make sense to get rid of him. You already have Jalen Hurts, you have McCaffrey, you have CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, so.
You could theoretically, I wouldn't necessarily. You could tear down from Kelsey and get other assets. You could probably trade Kelsey for Hawkinson and a little something. Like I'm not shutting that down. You know, I wouldn't.
Yeah, so you get Hawkinson at the first.
You know what I mean? Like that could work. So I wouldn't necessarily shut down not trading Kelsey by any means, but it would have to be for Hawkinson. Not even Mark Andrews. I wouldn't want Andrews. It'd have to be Hawkinson and plus a little bit.
I'd still do it for Andrews, but I think I'm just going to keep Kelsey in this particular format. I mean, you've got Hurts. I mean, you could. Those are definitely things that you can do if you want to just get a first round pick and tear down. You can definitely do that from Kelsey. But really, the only one I see that would really make sense to move would be Cooper Kupp, right?
Yep.
So
keeping
let's
CMC.
see.
Because you're in position to kind of keep that train rolling based on the way this team is shaped.
All right, so let's find a trade target
for Cooper
for
Kupp.
Kupp.
Drake London plus.
Drake London. That's what I was thinking. Maybe a Drake London. I mean, this guy's got JJ, St. Brown, Ridley, Chubb, Akers. You know, he's kind of in a win now mode. Will he be willing to come off of Drake London for a Cooper Kupp when he has Jefferson and St. Brown? This guy doesn't have a first. He doesn't have any first. So would you come off a Cooper? What would you come off a Cooper Kupp for? You're a Cooper Kupp owner. A Cooper Kupp for Drake London, and anything else on the squad that you think would kind of tip the scales? They've got no draft capital to give.
That's tough. You said it's one quarterback, right?
Yeah,
that's tough because he has Kelsey, so he doesn't need Kittle. You know, Drake London Ridley. That seems like too much. Drake London and McLaurin.
That
London
still might
McLaurin.
be.
You know, it's tough.
Still might be much.
Because I don't know, like a second round pick might get it done.
But it is a 1 QB, so a second round pick doesn't mean as much. So I don't think that team is a good fit. All right, let's run through these teams and see what we can find here. Deontay.
Because you'd want it, like if that person had a first round pick, you could do London in the first for Kupp. If I was a Cooper Kupp owner, I would highly consider that.
Well, yeah, we're getting down to the bottom. You know, we're kind of trying to look for more, win now teams that's going to want, a veteran, right? But there are sometimes teams that may want to take the older guy if they ain't thinking straight, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, a lot of these teams have some young wide receivers, it looks like. Hill, Adams, Lockett, Sutton.
Who has JSN? Maybe Quentin Johnston plus.
That's what we're gonna try and look for right now.
I wouldn't mind a JSN and a little something, a Quentin Johnston and a little something. I don't know if I'd go after Zay Flowers I do like Quentin Johnston's upside being with Justin Herbert a little bit more over Zay Flowers.
Come on. All right. There's a Quentin Johnston, but I don't. They got D-Hop, Kirk Cousins, Golf. He may think he's a win now team. Yeah, I mean, you get Quentin Johnston in their first. I mean, it looks like they're a bottom team, right? They've got Mike Williams. They've got D-Hop. I mean, Jacobs, Walker, Cousins, Golf, Wilson. That's a shot. That's a shot that you can take there, right? Would you do Quentin in the first for Kupp? Is that enough?
I think so. That would be tough for me to pull that trigger, but considering what he has at his other two top wide receiver positions, yeah, I would do that. Especially if your strategy is trying to get rid of some veterans, get younger guys plus assets. Quentin Johnston with a first, I think I'm cool with that, especially if it's a bottom team where you would imagine that's got to be the 103, the 104, somewhere in that range. That'll work with Quentin Johnston. I don't mind that.
It looks like that's a pretty good option. And is Nick in the chat? Is he saying anything in there? I'm not.
Nah. Last thing he said was one last year trying to repeat, potentially tear up some old vets. Yeah. So I like that.
Yeah, and listen, you're taking a shot on a young wide receiver in Quentin Johnston. You're also getting, a first, but your team's good enough where you could probably withstand that even.
Yep.
Because obviously you won last year without Cooper Kupp, so
Good point. That is a good point.
To just get off now while you have some. So if you're getting, there's the hold on, where's the JSN I saw?
So he just typed in. He said, "Hard part is I built a monster and people don't want to feed the beast." well,
listen, you built a monster. You built a really good team.
But I think if you're giving up Cooper Kupp, people might see that. For Quentin Johnston, people are like, "Yeah, I want Cooper Kupp." You know what I mean? So you're taking a little bit of a risk, but there's some good upside, and I think you will be able to absorb that anyway. As Blanc said, you won without Cooper Kupp anyway. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean the team with JSN is a number 2 team, and it looks like they've got a young squad like Bijan, J.K., Garrett Wilson, JSN, Jerry Judy. It's possible maybe you can give Kupp and get JSN. That might be more of a straight up kind of thing. I don't know if you could get the first on top.
Honestly, I'd rather if both options were on the table.
With the straight up,
I would take Quentin Johnston in the first.
Well, yeah, you get the extra asset, but so I would toy around with those options. Those are just some ideas that I'm kind of seeing.
Who has maybe like a
I just die with Kelsey. I mean, I'll just die with Kelsey. I don't think I'll just die with Kelsey. Song, what up, Song? Yeah, I mean we're live up here. I think they're doing playmakers downstairs on the 420 channel. You could probably get Judy plus or something from the SPACs. Don't think he'll give up JSN. Well, just try, bro. You might have to give up more, but just try. Judy plus is okay too. Is that from the same team?
I'm not feeling that.
It's from the same team. Judy. Would you do Judy and the first?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you do it for Quentin Johnston? Well, that team is worse, so maybe
that team is worse, and
that makes sense.
And considering what we know about the Chargers, got the quarterback in place. I think Quentin Johnston has a potential Rookie of the Year candidate in him. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are going to break down at some point. I do think Quentin Johnston is going to be the guy to bust out, and I think he's at a good value now because he's playing with 2 other established veteran guys. His price is attainable in my estimation. And if you could get the first on top of it for Cooper Kupp, which let's call it what it is, Cooper Kupp's a brand name. I think that's a solid. I like 2 assets more than one if I'm giving up Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I'm still okay. I'd rather have JSN. But yeah, I mean, if you could get the first with the Quentin Johnson, I think those are kind of 2 guys that you can look at and just inquire about it. Inquire about JSN. To give up a little bit more, just see what it costs. I mean, you want the hammers. You've got some hammers on your squad already. So you giving up Cooper Kupp's not going to hurt you from winning the ship, as we saw last year. So just try and get out with as much as you can. So shop around. And that's what I would do. I would just keep Kelsey. I don't even want to like move off of Kelsey. Like, I think I'd rather just keep him, because with him and Jalen Hurts, I mean, hold on. Let me pull up the WORP again real quick. In a 1 QB, I mean, yeah. You're getting Hurts and you're getting and you have Kelsey, so yeah, man.
To be honest, if you kept the team the same, you kind of probably go back to the ship anyway. But I do understand the coming off Cooper Kupp and getting a younger wide receiver plus an asset. That's why I would be in favor of going after a Quentin Johnston. The Judy thing is tough for me because I got to see it before I believe it. I do have Judy in our subscriber league, but I do have Olave, I do have Cheetah. You do have CD, and I think he has AJ Brown as well. So if you wanted to take a chance on Judy, but I just think the tier down from Cooper Kupp to Jerry Judy is just I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. That's a tough one.
How much would you add to Connor for Dobbins? I would give up Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do Hollywood and Connor?
Seems like a lot.
Who else? Yeah.
Maybe not really, because I think Hollywood might get off to a little bit of a slow start.
Let's see where. Okay, so JK's here. It's been discussed, a JK for Connor deal.
Seems like he has value this year. He's bound to fall off soon. Connor? You talking about Connor has value?
Yeah. So JK's on the same team as JSN.
So maybe Cooper Kupp, Connor, and something else for JK.
Well, would you do Judy in that sense if you gave up Cooper Kupp and Connor for Judy,
Dobbins,
JK, for Judy and JK?
I'd see if he'd throw like JMO in there or something, like as an extra asset. If he would throw JMO in there, maybe. I would inquire about that. If he threw JMO in there,
you've got right. I mean, I don't know, whatever. I'm not as high on JMO anymore. But you've got Cooper Kupp, you got DJ Moore, you got Marquise Brown, who are all kind of expendable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can move those guys if you need to, right? James Conner, you can move him if you need to. Even Tony Pollard, you can move him if you need to, right? Can you trade Tony Pasta? Can you get JSN by trading Tony Pasta and Cooper Kupp? Right? Or even a DJ Moore or right? Can you give up DJ Moore and Pasta for a JSN? If you want to swing for the fences, I mean, you've got a Tony Pollard and a James Conner, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Marquise Brown, that you can use to kind of to tier up on wide receiver, right? If that's what we want to do.
Yeah, I like that.
St. Brown, London, Ridley, right? You've got Devonta Smith. You've got some guys that you can use.
If you're coming off Cooper Kupp, swing for Amon-Ra. Fuck it. Swing for St. Brown. He's got JJ and London. Swing for St. Brown.
If they go for it. If
Got
they go
Ridley.
for it, that's tough. St. Brown's up.
Yeah, but he's got JJ, London, Ridley. He might slot Cooper Kupp in there. Might be I wouldn't necessarily do it if I was the Amon-Ra team, but you never know. You got to swing. Engage those conversations like you've been doing. See what interests the other team. You might be able to pull something off.
Yeah. Feel you. Feel you. All right. This would have been a lot easier if I was at home and not in Vegas right now to be able to pull up everything. So sorry for all the delays and shit.
Technical difficulties. Yeah, it's pretty rough on this end too. My computer was just not having it for a little bit there.
Yeah, man.
When you
Diaz, if you're still out there, Isaiah, what's up, Isaiah? I have Lamar, CMC, Derek, Kittle, Ridley, Amon-Ra, and Aaron Jones. All right. Awesome.
It's a nice little squad.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate y'all for coming out. We'll see y'all, I don't know when. Wednesday, maybe. Yeah, we got to switch up our day because they're going to be doing some of the games and stuff. So we got to figure out another day that we can do. But, yeah, we'll be here someday during the week. We're here someday during the week. Just make sure you follow us on Instagram. I usually post it up there.
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, appreciate y'all for coming out. Hammer, till next time.
All right, kid. Be safe.
Yeah. We'll finish up this last night in Vegas, coming home in the morning, hopefully.
Nice.
All right, boys.
All right, kid. Later.